everyone, so today's video is going to be a review slash demo of this brush here. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Artis brushes, which I've seen so many people rave about on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. They're just everywhere at the moment, but they are so expensive in my opinion. I don't think I've paid more than £20 for a makeup brush, and I'm pretty sure that the one that everyone talks about, the Oval 7, is around £40 if I'm not wrong. So I saw this brush on Amazon. This was less than £2, and so I just thought it's worth trying. If I don't like it, then it's not the end of the world. It only cost me less than £2. So what I've done is I've used it to apply all of my face makeup. So I'll be doing a demo showing you how I use this, and then at the end of the video I'll be giving you my thoughts on what I think about it. Make sure that you stay tuned until the end so you can hear what I think about this. But this is the brush. I'll do some close-up shots with it. It's very densely packed. It's a lot smaller than what I thought it was going to be when I bought it. I feel like this is probably a similar size to like the Oval 6, maybe even the Oval 5, if there is an Oval 5. I know there's an Oval 6 though. But it's made of plastic. The plastic's a lot harder than what I thought it was going to be, which is quite good. And it's not got a rubber grip on it, it just has the sort of textured grip, which I actually prefer because I feel like this won't get dirty. So yeah, if you want to find out what I think of this brush, if you want to see me using it as well, then please keep watching. Okay, so I've done my eye makeup and I've just moisturised and primed my face. I just used the Nivea Men's Post Shave Balm to prime. I'm just going to get my hair out the way. So this is the brush that I'm going to be using today for my foundation. So you're supposed to hold it like this. You're supposed to brush it on your face. You're not supposed to pat it, you're not supposed to buff it. So I've got to make sure that I don't buff it in when I apply my foundation. So I'm going to use my L'Oreal Lumi Magique foundation because I know I love this foundation. I can normally get quite a good coverage out of it. So it's a good test to see how well the brush performs. So I'm going to put some of this onto a surface so I can pick it up with a brush. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dot some of the foundation onto my face, and then I'll just blend it out with the brush and see what kind of coverage I get. I'm going to do it on this side of my face first. I've got quite a few blemishes on this side for some reason. So I'm just going to take the brush and I'm just going to start to blend the foundation in. Pick some up on the brush and do my chin just to see if that makes any difference. It's not given as much coverage as what I would have hoped. It's not streaky or anything like that. I wouldn't say it's any faster than using a beauty blender or anything like that, but I do think it's because of how small this is. I think if you were using one of the bigger ones, you'd probably be able to do this a lot quicker. So the story behind these brushes, from my understanding, is that they were created by someone from MAC, and they did so well that he then decided to leave MAC and then rebrand them and create them as his own. So that is apparently how these brushes started. I've seen so many people talk about them on YouTube and Instagram, and I really wanted to try them, but the price is just quite a lot. I've never spent more than £20 on a makeup brush. I've got one fairly thin layer of foundation all over my face. I'm just going to see if I can build it up in areas where I need a bit more coverage, just to see if the brush allows me to do that. that's my foundation done. Now I'm going to see what it's like with my concealer. So I'm going to use my collection Lust Infection concealer like I always do in the exact same way. I'm just going to pop some down the side of my nose and then up towards my temple and then just fill in that space. And then I'm just going to take the brush and I'm just going to start, I'm not going to pat it like I normally would, I'm going to actually brush it down and start blending it down. The only thing I will say is I feel like it's quite hard to get right under your eye. Normally I can see where I'm blending, so I know that I'm not going to ruin any makeup. That was a lot quicker than the amount of time it normally takes me to blend down my concealer, so I quite like this for concealer. Just going to add a bit more just here where I felt like there wasn't enough coverage and it doesn't blend together. So I'm just going to do my other eye. So I'm just going to use the same concealer just to highlight other areas of my face to help balance out my under eyes. I'm going to put some on my chin and blend that out with the brush. It's hard to get used to knowing that you're supposed to hold it like this. I keep wanting to go like this, like I would a normal brush. I feel like it works better if you hold it like this. So I wanted to try it to do some contouring as well, but I wanted to try cream contour. So I'm going to use my L'Oreal Infallible Sculpt Contour and Highlighting Palette. And I'm going to take the darker shades, I'm just going to take it directly onto the brush. I've not got too much on that, and I'm just going to blend as I apply it. I'm just going to blend it up towards my cheekbone. I'm also just going to take a little bit on the brush and I'm just going to put some down the sides of my nose. Also going to take some and put it just below my lip, just to make the bottom lip look a bit more pouty. If you wanted to contour your forehead as well, you could just take, I'm just going to take whatever's left on the brush and just apply it to the sides of my forehead just to help narrow it down a bit. So you can apparently use these with powders as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and use it to set my under eye concealer. So I'm going to use my Rimmel Match Perfection loose powder. I'm going to take some on the brush, but I'm just going to push it into the cap and just tap off any excess, but as you can see there's a lot packed on there. And I'm just going to press it to my under eye. So just while I'm letting that sit and bake, I'm going to just tap some on the rest of my face. Whilst I'm letting my under eyes bake, I'm going to try and use a powder contour with it. So I'm going to use the Sleek Face Contour Kit. This is in the shade Light. And I'm just going to tap the brush into the powder and I'm just going to buff it in to my cheeks. Just put a little bit on the side of my nose again as well. I'm just going to use a brush just to sweep away for baking. And I'm also going to try and use this to apply some blusher. I want to use this one. This is Rimmel's Santa Rose number 001. I'm just going to again dip the brush into the blusher and just apply it touchy. And the last thing I'm going to do is use it to apply my highlighter. This is the Urban Decay Afterglow highlighter in the colour Sin. I absolutely love this highlighter, it's my favourite. And I'm just going to tap the outside of the brush into the product, and I'm just going to squeeze it onto the cheekbones. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be back to give you my thoughts on how I feel about this brush, what I like it for, what I don't like it for, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I finished applying all my makeup, and the first thing that I will say is I did go ahead and apply more blusher with my normal blush brush, and I did apply more highlighter with my normal highlighter brush. I didn't feel like it did anything for me when I applied it with this brush. The foundation, I liked it, I wasn't a huge fan of it. It has left a nice finish. The only thing is I felt like I had to apply more product. I had to take my time making sure that I was swiping it down, I wasn't buffing it in, and I kept going over areas if I felt like I wanted more coverage. So if I was going out for a night out or something like that, I probably would use this for my foundation. But on a normal sort of day-to-day basis, I'm still going to stick with my Beauty Blender sponge, which I absolutely love. I did, however, really like this for concealer and the baking under my eyes. I like the way it blended out my concealer. It did give me a nice coverage, and then when I was packing on the powder, it packed on a nice amount of powder. Whereas I feel like sometimes when I do apply it with the sponge, I don't know if the sponge sort of soaks a bit of it up so that when I'm pushing it on, it's not all going on my eye and I feel like I'm having to dip back into the powder, put more on. Whereas with this, I could dip it in and just get quite a few sort of stamps under my eyes, and it was a lot quicker, and it set exactly as I normally would with the sponge. So I think I will continue to use this for concealer and baking. The other thing that I really liked it for was the cream contouring, especially on my nose. I do find it quite difficult to contour my nose, and I have mentioned before that I find that sometimes this can make my nose look a bit muddy, but I didn't find that it happened when I used this brush. I don't know if it's just because I didn't put a lot on or because it's quite a straight line anyway. It got quite a nice shape in and it blended it out quite nicely, so I do really like it for the contouring. I would probably skip all the powder stuff, so the powder contour, the highlight and blusher, as I said, I just didn't do much, so I did apply the blusher and the highlighter again. Considering this brush was less than £2 though, I do think it's worth the money. If you are considering trying some of the Artis brushes, then it might be worth maybe picking one of these up just to see, because you might not even like the design of it, how you have to hold it, because as I said, I kept on wanting to hold it like this and then apply my makeup, which obviously is not how you're supposed to do it. I do want to try it, using it on other people. I want to see what it's like when you're applying makeup on somebody else, because I've heard people say that these were designed for yourself, and I've had other people say that it's designed to put on other people. So it'd be interesting to see what it's like when I do someone else's makeup. When I did purchase it, I did get a free sponge with it as well, which I've given away because I've got loads of sponges, and it was exactly the same as the Lab Squared one. So I think it was definitely worth the money. It took probably about 2 weeks to get here, which isn't the worst thing in the world. So yeah, make sure you check the link below to where you can get it if you're interested in picking it up. Hopefully they've still got it in stock when this video goes up, but I will let you know in the description down below if it is in stock before you click the link. Let me know if you've tried the Artis brushes or any other dupes for them, whether or not you like them, if you think that they really are worth the money. I really want to get the Oval 7 for foundation because that seems to be the brush that everybody tends to use. So that's it for this video then. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.